Hi everyone, welcome to Board of Tanks with StewiejP. I'm Stewie and this is the Tier 8 Chinese light tank, the WZ132, being driven today by StormCrowReapermanyHat. I'm just going to call him Stormcrow or Reaper, I suppose, in this replay. Anyway, in this replay he's on a mission. He's on the final mission for the T55A, and I tell you what, I was pretty excited when I got that one. And you need to do at least 7,000 hit points of spotting damage and damage done. So damage that you do counts. That's probably the easiest way to say it. Damage that you do counts, and also spotting damage up to 7,000. And this is the perfect matchup for this. You know, this is a what's the map called? Miravanka. It's one I can never remember. Miravanka. Plenty of opportunities to get into some good spotting positions. And being a tier 10 game, there's only 3 tier 10s on each side, but still that's more hit points that you can spot. And enemy have got a few heavy tanks that you can spot for as well, or spot heavy tanks as well. He's got APCR loaded, APCR in the Chinese tier 8 light tank. Does 250 damage, 225 penetration, 189 penetration for the armor piercing rounds, which is standard. And you can see Stormcrow has the APCR loaded for now. He's also got a few HE rounds. You can look at the mini-map. The vast majority of his team are going for the white flag, going for the cap. A lot of enemy tanks in the magical forest. And of course, if he wants to get this mission, capping's not going to be the way to get it. He's going to have to get it by doing damage or spotting for his team. So it's Stormcrow not stuffing around, getting right up to where he hopes the action is. Only one enemy tank on that side spotted, the Batchat 25T. He auto aims in it, thinking about trying to get a cheeky shot, maybe a kill off, but the artillery does the job. The Batchat 155-58, the tier 10 auto-loading French artillery. He rolls over the cap circle. I don't think for a minute that he's going to want to cap this one out. Lots of friendly tanks on this western flank where Stormcrow is, and he's going to want to try and get into a position where he can spot these enemy tanks and hope that his teammates do some damage. Picks up 406 spotting damage onto the VK100 01P. That's the one that leads to the mouse. But 3 of his teammates have died pretty quickly. The T54 at tier 9, the FV4202, and the Rheinmetall Borsig at tier 8. And of course now the Kranwagen's been taken out. That's a pretty big, solid gun to be taken out of the game. Three teammates are capping now. Looks like StormCrowReapermanyHat's going to roll over the cap circle again. He still wants to light some of these teammates up. He's probably thinking at this stage that not a massive chance to get this mission done at this stage, but he puts a shot into the auto-loading American tier 8 medium tank, the T54E1. Now that T54E1, he'll be looking at Stormcrow thinking there's some easy damage, so you've got to be careful when you're in a light tank. Of course, everybody seems to focus on you because it's a guaranteed penny if you land the shot. 1-5's the score, so his team are in a little bit of trouble. He's picked up 1,145 assisted damage. Spotted a couple of tank destroyers, lightly armoured ones too, so we'll be hoping that somebody can put some damage into these tanks. Puts a shell into the T54E1 and picks up his... No, he didn't kill it. No, the T28 prototype did it, but he'll be looking at that artillery, GW Tiger P, which looks like he's aiming that way. The T28 picks up the kill. That's the same T28 that picked up the kill on the American T54E1. 4-8's the score now. He wants to get 7,000 assisted damage, remember, and the secondary condition is to survive. Got some more assisted damage with the damage in the tracks into that, what's it called? Lorraine 40 ton, the new premium tier 8 French medium tank. Bounces the VK100. Cops a big shot from a Scorpion G for 502 hit points of damage. His team are trying to cap this one out, and by capping it, they've attracted all these tanks to try and reset the cap. And so Ripper's probably thinking, well, most of these tanks are going to be focusing on the cap, surely. So I might go around here and keep these tanks lit and put a bit of damage in. He's already done 2,045 damage, 3211, make that 3696 assisted damage. 4,000 assisted damage. Yeah, he's probably starting to fancy himself now. He's up over 6,000 combined. He's only 3,000 hit points off getting this mission for the T55A. It's a combination of 7,000. His team is still trying to cap. Obviously, his teammates that are capping do have a fair amount of armour. The IS-7, the OHO and the T-30. T-30 gets taken out. Auto aims and shoots the Object 140. And with a score on 7-11, you'd be thinking, what do I have to do? He's done 4,400 assisted damage, 2,732 damage on his own. Shoots and misses the Tiger P, was it? That shot doesn't miss. He's only got 4 APCR rounds left. Now the enemy is starting to cap. 8-13. What is he going to do? Nearly 3,000 damage done. 4,400 assisted damage. I know what I'll be doing right about now. I'll be getting the hell out of Dodge. Bear in mind, the final mission for the T55A requires you to do 7,000 assisted damage or damage caused by you. Secondary condition is just to survive. The secondary condition, you don't need to win, and I reckon that's what StormCrowReapermanyHat has just worked out. There's still 3 enemy tanks sitting on that cap. It looks like, what's this artillery driver going to do? Where's that artillery driver heading for? Me, Korea, 1004. You're not going to, are you? I know, it looks like he's turning his gun back towards the cap. Thought he was going to do the drown for a minute there. StormCrowReapermanyHat. What's he going to do? Maybe he's going to try and take on these last 7 tanks all by himself. Moving through the bushes. Well, since the secondary condition is just to survive, may as well ensure your survival. Shoots the T-25 Pilot 1. And artillery picks up the kill. And enemy artillery counters the big tier 10 French artillery. In the end, it was a loss, but a success as far as the mission grows. StormCrowReapermanyHat. Singular. It was a defeat, but it was a final mission for the T55A. And I know when I got my T55A, I was high-fiving all the way down the street. It was a pretty happy day. But despite the loss, he's had a pretty good win. He's picked up an Ace Tanker Mastery Badge for that little performance. 5 for effect for all the damage he did. Confederate for hitting more enemy tanks than anybody else. And of course, a patrol duty. Have a look at all those tanks that he's spotted, damaged, and helped get rid of. He well and truly, he did his best to carry that one. 3,226 damage for his 1 kill. The only other person that hit 3,000 was the IS-7. A few in the 1,000 marks, but just not quite good enough. That Object 140 on the enemy side had a ripper with 3,600 damage done, and the Tortoise with over 4,000 damage done. Lost a few credits because he fired all his APCR rounds, StormCrowReapermanyHat, but in the end he picked up that final mission for the LT 15.3, the final mission for the T55A, and that was to do 7,000 damage combined. Anyway, it was a defeat, but no, don't take anything away from him. He had an absolute ripper. Game number 2 of this triple shot of Tier 8 light tank action. This is Ravi 18, and in this replay, he's joined the best clan in the universe, 1AR. He's in the M4190 Grand Final tank, the girlfriend tank, gluten-free tank, call it what you will. It is the German version of the American Bulldog. Except it doesn't have an autoloader. It's a tank I love to play. 240 damage, 182 penetration, 250 penetration with the heat rounds, if that's what floats your boat. You can see Ravi's got a hell of a lot of high explosive rounds loaded. Maybe that's how it starts. Yeah, he's not on a mission. Well, he is on a mission. What's his mission to do? 6,000 spotted damage as a platoon. Oh, of course you can do those missions on your own. Let's see how he goes on Stalingrad. Having a bit of a cheeky look down the line where the mediums go. A couple of T-54s backing him up. The AMX 5120 gets taken out on the enemy side. And Ravi moving forward in the M4190 Grand Final tank. Keeping these tanks lit, the Tier 8 Premium German heavy tank. Of course, there's 4 Tier 9s it needs to be careful of. And the Centurion 1 was last spotted down here as well. You'd think those two T-54s with the backup of those tank destroyers might be able to take care of the low in the Centurion. I think T-28 prototype's probably a little bit far back to be able to see him. You might be able to see him from there, but yeah, probably can. 2 zips to score as the I-6 gets rid of the Chinese Tier 8 Heavy, the 110. And Harvey sees that Centurion. He cops a shot, puts a shot in. He fancies himself here, but now here comes that low. He needs to get the hell out of there. He hasn't got the armour. He hasn't got the tank to win this in a straight shootout. He needs to probably get himself into a position where he can either flank them or catch them by surprise while they're focusing on those two T-54s. 2 1s to score. Ravi 18 from 1AR clan moving around in the Black Dog. The M4190 Grand Final tank. He gets spotted again, so he pulls back. There is artillery in the game, the GW Tiger. And artillery love to shoot up this eastern flank. There's less things to hide behind, less buildings to be arty safe. Friendly arty gets rid of the Rheinmetall Ballseed Waffenträger, bringing the score up to 3-1. So nothing worth panicking over yet. IS-6 takes out the GW Tiger. That's a handy one to get rid of. The big Tier 9 German SPG. Ravi taking his time, showing great restraint here. Be very, very tempting to start poking and shooting, but only take a couple of shots from those big guns to ruin his day. That Scorpion has got an alpha damage of nearly 500. That would be very painful. In a light tank, it doesn't matter where that Scorpion shoots him, he's going to do damage. 4-2's the score. Ravi 18 moving back around, trying to get a different flank. Maybe looking for the Kanj Panzer, the Kangaroo Panzer. I think that's what they used to call them. Hoping to catch the premium Tier 7 German tank destroyer unaware. Puts 321 damage. That wasn't a bad roll. Into the German tank destroyer. Puts another 318 into him. I think he'll probably take 2 more shots. No, 1's enough. Someone else softened him up, and Ravi grabs his first kill. 7-3's the score as he continues to move forward through these buildings, trying to play the pesky role of one of those light tanks that just keeps popping out and shooting all the time. Cops a shot from the UDES for 354, puts 231 into him, confident that his reload is going to beat him, and he does. Shoots him, sets him on fire, gets his second kill. 8-4, looking a lot more manageable now, but looks like the enemy have got the advantage on the western side, so they really need to make sure they win this eastern side. Even though the score's 8-5, the E75's just gone down to the T10 on the other side of the map. But Ravi's side still does have the advantage of more Tier 9 tanks, and of course the M4190 being a premium didn't get changed in the changes to the light tanks. Yeah, he loses his driver and fixie, but more importantly, he lost an ammo rack which he needed to use his repair kit for, and he lost a hell of a lot of damage from that big German tank destroyer. He's down to 68 hit points, so he needs to be very, very careful. He doesn't want to throw this one away. 8-5, 8-6 the score now as one of the T-54s goes down. Just to make sure that Scorpion doesn't have a shot on him. He's moving around here, wants to start chipping away at the Centurion, puts a shot into his turret. 8-7, the enemy team really coming back here, shoots and misses towards the low. Looks like the low's continuing to ignore Ravi. Another 222 into the German premium heavy tank, but that low really focused on the T28 prototype and the T54. 8 all the score now as another one of their tanks goes down. He continues to chip away at the premium German heavy tank, and it looks like that Scorpion is trying to get in on the action from this side as well. Takes a low down to 334 hit points. That Scorpion's a one shot on 113. That'd be a very handy gun to get out of the game. And all of a sudden Ravi's already picked up nearly 3,000 damage as the UDES 03 picks up the kill on the Scorpion. 9-8 the score. It's not over yet. Looks like the low is turning his gun towards Ravi. Ravi gets a shot in, takes him down for a one shot. The T28 picks up the kill. Ravi kills the Centurion, and all of a sudden it's looking a lot more healthy with the score on 11-8. 3,216 damage, 500 assisted damage from Ravi. 18 in the M4190GF Grand Final tank, gluten-free girlfriend tank, and he starts moving back to try and deal with this Chrysler GF. Takes the low road to try and avoid that T10. That T10's going to get rid of the artillery. 11-9. The T10 is on low health though. So Ravi doing the right thing, going for the flanking manoeuvre up here, but the T28 prototype picks up the kill. Chrysler Grand Final tank back up at A7. Is dancing with the STRV S1, the premium Swedish tank destroyer. 3 kills, 3,216 damage. 502 assisted damage, and that STRV S1 and the Chrysler looks like they're facing off, and Ravi doing the right thing, trying to move around and flank this premium American heavy tank. Takes him for 95. Was that a high explosive round? I think it might have been. STRV copping it a little bit from the German from the American heavy tank. Ravi in his German light tank. Critical hits the Chrysler. Puts another shot in for 227. That's changed it. Picks up some assisted damage. It's a one shot now. That'll be nice. Thank you very much. Kill number 4 to Ravi 18 from 1AR clan. The M4190 Grand Final tank on Stalingrad. Yep. And now it's just a case of cleaning up these last 2 tanks, which is easier said than done. The Skoda T50 and the Type 4 Heavy, both not so easy to kill. No idea what kind of health these 2 tanks were last seen on, as Ravi just pokes around this corner gingerly looking to see where the Czech autoloader might be. It's got 4 shells in its clip from memory, or 3, the T9. It might be 3. Moving forward slowly, showing great restraint. Doesn't want to get separated from his teammates too far. Looks like the 2 Swedish tank destroyers are going down the 7-8 line. The Ferdinand's all the way down the bottom, so we know the enemy tanks aren't around in this area because the Ferdinand's all the way down here. Looks like the Ferdinand might be slowly creeping towards the enemy cap. Ravi, the T54 and the T28 all moving around this area. The Type 4 Heavy gets spotted back at the base, and he looks like he's a one-shot. Dead E75, telling people to cap. Not sure why. Lots of slow tanks though on Ravi's side, so he needs to keep pace with them and not run too far away. The T54 and the T28 continue to move forward. The T54 on 567 hit point. The UDES on full health. The T28 on 800 hit points, so there's plenty of hit points to go around. That Type 4, we know he's on very low health, and so Ravi thinks time to get serious. Time to stop stuffing around and try and flush out this Skoda T50 as well as the Type 4 Heavy. There's the Type 4. There's the Skoda. Auto aim. Thank you very much. There's kill number 5. Is he going to go for the Top Gun? I'll have to get him from a different angle. And that's what he's going to try and do. He's on 196 hit points, which is 1 shot for Ravi. He's already got 5 kills, nearly 4,000 damage. Sounds like a Type 4 just fired, so he can poke around this corner easily, but the T28 robs him of the Top Gun. And in the end, even though it was looking a little bit iffy at one stage of the game, in the end, not a bad win, 15-9. As we have a look at the result, it's an Ace Tank and Raspberry badge for RV18 from 1AR clan. Bruiser Arsonist for the fire kill. Duelist Fighter fire for effect. And an absolute ripper. Tops the damage score in that Tier 9 game. 3,859 damage, 5 kills, 1,404 base experience. He fired 21 shots, 19 hit, 18 did damage, a little bit of assisted damage. And have a look at those credits. That's what premium tanks are all about, especially when you combine it with a premium account. 94,036 credits after tax take home in that 10-minute game. Not a bad result at all for RV18 from 1AR in the Black Dog, the M4190 Grand Final tank. And here he is again, this time platooned up with his old mate, the YouTube Gamer in the Centurion 1, and RV18 in the new French Light tank at Tier 8, the Batchat 12T, or the BC 12T, with its 4-shot autoloader. You can see he's got 20 standard rounds loaded this 75mm gun. 170 damage a pop, 170 penetration, 210 penetration for APCR rounds in this game on steps. He's on that same mission, 6,000 spotting damage as a platoon. Not sure if he's going to get it in this one, but let's see how he goes on steps. He's not stuffing around, he's going straight for these bushes in the middle of the map. Has that LTTB spotted him? He has. Picks up a little bit of assisted damage on the Tier 8 Russian light tank, the newly promoted to Tier 8, the LTTB. He's got these rocks here though to help him from any of the players camping on the enemy side. Aims towards the Sheridan, bounces his first shots. Second shot doesn't bounce, gets him for 162 hit points, 176 for his third shot, and blind shots his fourth shot, waiting for that French gun to reload. Of course, with the changes in the light tanks, this is the new tank that was introduced to the game, as well as the Tier 10, the Bautista 12T. And while it would be natural to compare it with the AMX 1390 when that was Tier 8, it does look a little bit like it. They do look quite similar, as does the Bautista, but it looks like a pretty fun tank to play. I don't have one. I already had the 1390, so I've got the Tier 9, but it looks pretty cool. He looks towards that Sheridan again, waiting for that French gun to reload. He's on 658 damage, 1426 assisted damage. Looks like the YouTube gamer in the Centurion 1's happy just to kick back and snipe for a little bit in this Tier 10 battle. And that RU doing some amazing dancing as Ravi picks up his first kill of the game. He gets lit in the process, takes a reload. He's on 757 damage, 1426 assisted, and his one kill. And the advantage of just having a 4-shot autoloader is the reload, the clip reload time isn't that long. So I think you'll see players, you know, if they're unsure whether to reload or not, then they probably will, because it's similar to the Czech ones. It's not a bad. Oh, I don't know where that last shell went. A few of those shots went a little bit wide. That's French accuracy for you. 3-2's the score. Enemy artillery's been killed, which is a good sign. The big Tier 10 French artillery must have been down here in the southeast corner, or I missed it. As Ravi waits for his gun to reload, he starts moving back to try and help defend the base. You see a lot of enemy tanks down here in the south though. 5 enemy tanks up here. Plenty of friendly tanks here. You'd hope that they would win that battle with the score on 4-2. 757 damage done, 1426 assisted, as his trusty old French gun finally reloads, looking towards the Panther 8.8. Manages to get one shell into the German Tier 8 medium tank, premium Tier 8 medium tank. Keeps moving around, not reloading yet. Still got 3 shells. He'd love to put one into that IS-3 to pick up his second kill. 5-3's the score. YouTube gamer sniping away from those little that little ridge line. 6-3 as StormCrowReapermanyHat picks up the kill on that low health IS-3. Moving around, probably not sure if he's spotted or not. Interesting looking tank. Looks like it's got quite a long wheelbase for a French light tank, or for any French tank for that matter. It's changed to APCR. It's a T30 on low health, the Sheridan on very low health. T30 gets done by the StormCrowReapermanyHat. He's having a ripper of a game. He's on 4 kills. Ravi's got his 4 APCR shots in the barrel, waiting for an opportunity. Doesn't want to be the only one to move forward here. Everyone else happy just to sit back. So Ravi's probably thinking, that's alright, I'm happy to take the assisted damage. 7-4 the score. Looks like down south, looks like they're slowly winning. Artillery's indicating that he's aiming at the Type 4. It's a shot into the VK4502B, the one that used to lead to the mouse. Now that leads to the new PZKP FW Alphabet 7. 7-4 the score. Looking to try to assist the south from a distance with a little bit of a snipey things happening here. The IS-3 caught napping there. He was just staring at whatever was happening in the south instead of focusing on his northern battle. Ravi puts a shot into the Tier 8 Russian heavy tank, takes another reload. 1428 damage done, 1426 assisted damage. Oh, he's probably regretting that reload now. Looking at that lightly armoured Tier 8 British medium tank, the Centurion. So he starts firing blindly. You can see the accuracy changes in these light tanks. Those shots seem to be going absolutely everywhere. He's not going to take a reload this time. Yes, he is. Pulls back. Using this ridgeline to protect himself on the right, but he leaves himself a little bit open to those guys. But I guess those guys in the south are probably more concerned about the T-34 and the M4A1 Reveloir. Fires clutch, kills the Sheridan. There's a game changer for you. 2 kills to Ravi, 1504 damage, 1426 assisted. You've still got 3 shells. He was probably thinking about derping that BK from the back. Crashes into an enemy dead tank. He's got 2 bullets left. Damages and tracks that tank. Picks up 670 assisted damage for his efforts in tracking that tank. That's why it's a good move if you're in a light tank to track tanks if you can. Gives you assisted damage just as it would if it was spotted damage, especially when it's close up and the friendly tanks can see for themselves where these tanks are. As Ravi 18 keeps moving forward, heading towards the Jagdpanzer E100. That'll be a tough nut to crack, as will the Type 4 Heavy. Of course, that Jag's the last Tier 10 tank left on the enemy side, so hopefully that Object 261's looking at him. Ravi gets spotted somehow. Maybe the Centurion spotted him, or maybe that Jagdpanzer spotted him. Can we see which way he's aiming? No, we can't. Climbs over this hill. He's not sure if those tanks are aiming his way. They probably are, because all those other tanks that are around here, they're either dead or they've relocated. They were pretty low health not so long ago. That was the T-34 and one of those M4A1 Ravioli tanks. 12-8's the score, 18-15 damage done, 2096 assisted damage. He'd love to keep this happening. I wonder if he does get this mission. 6,000 assisted damage. Hey, if it counts, if the damage you do counts, he's already up to nearly 4,000, and I reckon you might see a little bit more pretty shortly. His spotting is lighting up that Centurion 1, that's for sure. Here comes a YouTube gamer in his Centurion 1 on 489 hit points, so he needs to be a little bit careful. Ravi's picking the help key. He wants someone to start shooting these tanks for him. I reckon I just saw that Jag aiming in a different direction. Ravi's saying, stuff this, I'll do it myself. I'm going to go around this corner and put some more paint into these tanks. Nearly gets the kill on the Type 4. Bounces the Centurion 1, and now it's time to unload that French clip. That's 3 shells. 1 more would be nice. Keeps him tracked, which gives him a chance to not only get out of the way, but also hopefully some more assisted damage if his friendly tanks shoot the Centurion 1, which doesn't look like they're really interested in doing. Goes up, does a little bit of a jump. Auto aims at the British medium tank. Bumps in just to say, hey, why aren't you trying to shoot me? And picks up his 3rd kill. And brings his damage up to 2,500. 2,000 spotted. And in the end, a good win. 15-8. And there we go. That is the final battle in this threesome, featuring some pretty good action in the light tanks. And Ravi 18, 1AR clan, the Bat Chat 12 ton, Ace Tanker Mastery Badge, Spotter Medal, Bruiser, Fire for Effect, and the All-X medal for killing 2 TDs that are a higher tier. Ravi had an absolute ripper, 2,724 damage, 3 kills, 1237 base experience. Of course, the T28 prototype did more damage, but clearly less detected damage. That's why Ravi top scored with his 2,172 hit points of damage. I don't think he got that mission, but it cost him a few credits too. But an Ace Tanker, 6,000 credits, that's nothing for an Ace Tanker Mastery Badge game to go on World of Tanks with StewiejP. So 3 very different but very exciting Tier 8 light tanks game. The WZ132 StormCrowReaper on a mission, and Ravi in the M4190 Grand Final Tank, and the Batchat 12T. Thanks very much for the replays, lads. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'm Stewie JP. You're not. Take care, and see you all next time.